The 1981 D United States 1 dime, commonly known as the 1981 D Roosevelt dime, is a small yet historically significant coin that carries with it decades of American monetary heritage, artistry, and national symbolism. Struck by the Denver Mint, denoted by the small d mint mark found just above the date on the coin's obverse front, this dime represents the enduring legacy of the Roosevelt design that began in 1946. The 1981 D-dime continues the tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II. Following his death in April 1945, the U.S. Treasury and Mint honored him by placing his image on the dime, chosen not only because of his leadership, but also due to his pivotal role in founding the March of Dimes, an organization created to combat polio, the disease from which Roosevelt himself suffered. The obverse of the 1981 D-dime was designed by John R. Sinek, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, whose initials JS appear at the base of Roosevelt's neckline. The portrait of Roosevelt faces left, a calm, yet determined expression reflecting his steadfast resolve during times of crisis. Around the upper left rim of the coin is the word liberty, symbolizing the fundamental American ideal that Roosevelt championed. To the left of Roosevelt's neck appears the motto, "In God We Trust," an enduring phrase found on all U.S. coinage, reaffirming the nation's faith and values. The year 1981 appears at the bottom, accompanied by the D Mint mark to its left. The precision of Sinek's engraving highlights the fine details of Roosevelt's hair and facial features, which, despite the dime's small size, give the coin a distinguished and realistic appearance. On the reverse side, the design also remains true to Sinek's original concept, featuring a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right representing strength and independence. Together, these three elements embody the balance of freedom, peace, and resilience upon which the United States was built. Encircling the reverse design are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and 1 dime at the bottom, clearly indicating the coin's country and denomination. Between the branches and below the torch appears the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, which stands as the nation's historic motto, celebrating unity amidst diversity. The reverse design's clean symmetry and symbolic richness contribute to its enduring place in American numismatic history. The 1981 D-dime is composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This metallic composition, first adopted in 1965 after the U.S. Mint phased out silver dimes due to rising silver prices, provides the coin with durability and resistance to wear. The dime weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge with 118 tiny grooves, a security feature originally intended to deter clipping or shaving of the coin's edges when coins were still made of precious metals. The Denver Mint produced a total of approximately 561,787,000 dimes in 1981, making the 1981 D-issue a common circulation coin. These dimes were distributed nationwide and used extensively in commerce, from vending machines to everyday purchases, as the dime remains one of the most practical small-denomination coins in American currency. Although it is not rare, its value lies in its historical and collectible appeal. In circulated condition, the 1981 D-dime is typically worth its face value of 10 cents, but in uncirculated condition or with a high mint state grade, MS65 and above, it may hold modest numismatic value, generally ranging from $1 to $5, depending on strike quality and preservation. Exceptional examples graded MS67 or MS68 by professional coin grading services can command higher premiums among collectors. An interesting aspect of the 1981 D-dime's place in U.S. numismatic history is that it was minted during a time of economic transition in America. The early 1980s saw high inflation, fluctuating interest rates, and a shift in fiscal policy under President Ronald Reagan's administration. Despite these challenges, The U.S. Mint continued to produce billions of coins annually to meet the demands of an active economy. The 1981 D-dime, therefore, represents a period of resilience and adaptation, both economically and symbolically, just as Roosevelt's image had come to represent perseverance through difficulty. For collectors, the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime is a cherished piece within the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which remains in production today. Many collectors seek to complete full date and mint sets from 1946 to the present, and the 1981 D fits neatly into this historical continuum. While not a rare or silver coin, its age, craftsmanship, and connection to one of America's most beloved presidents give it enduring appeal. Even more, coins preserved in proof-like condition or found in mint sets retain sharp details, mirrored fields, and a distinctive brilliance that captures the artistry of the U.S. Mint's engraving work. In summary, the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime embodies both artistic excellence and historical continuity. Its design honors Franklin D. Roosevelt's contributions to the nation, its composition reflects the modern era of coinage technology, and its mass circulation illustrates the ongoing vitality of the American economy. Though small in size and modest in value, it serves as a timeless reminder of national ideals, liberty, unity, and strength, and continues to circulate as a tiny, enduring monument to the spirit of America Next Top 2. The 1988 United States dime, officially called the Roosevelt dime, is a small yet historically significant coin that represents not only a piece of American currency, but also a tribute to one of the most influential presidents in U.S. history, Franklin D. Roosevelt. This coin, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark placed just above the date on the obverse side, belongs to the long-running Roosevelt dime series that began in 1946, following Roosevelt's death in 1945. The dime's introduction served as a memorial to Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his pivotal role in supporting the March of Dimes Foundation to combat polio, a disease he personally battled. The 1988 P-dime continues this legacy, embodying both historical reverence and the spirit of American resilience and progress. The obverse front of the 1988 P-dime features a left-facing portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. Sinnock's initials, J.S., appear at the base of Roosevelt's neck. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1988, along with the P mint mark denoting its origin at the Philadelphia Mint. The design captures Roosevelt's calm yet determined expression, symbolizing leadership and courage in times of national struggle. The obverse has remained largely unchanged since 1946, a testament to its timelessness and the enduring respect Americans have for Roosevelt's legacy. The reverse back design, also by John R. Sinnock, is rich in symbolism and represents themes of unity, peace, and strength. At the center is a torch, which stands for liberty and enlightenment. On either side of the torch are two branches, an olive branch, symbolizing peace, and an oak branch, representing strength and independence. Encircling these central motifs are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, and one dime. The arrangement of these symbols perfectly aligns with the ideals that define the American nation: freedom, unity, and perseverance. The 1988 P-dime is composed of a copper-nickel clad alloy, a material combination that replaced the earlier 90% silver dimes after 1964. Specifically, the coin has an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge with 118 tiny ridges. This composition and design give the dime its characteristic silvery appearance and durability, suitable for circulation in everyday commerce. The decision to use a clad composition was made in response to rising silver prices in the mid-1960s, ensuring that coins could be produced affordably without their metal content exceeding their face value. In 1988, The Philadelphia Mint produced a total of approximately 1.02 billion dimes. Remarkably high mintage. Such a large production run means that most 1988 P-dimes are common in circulation and hold only face value, 10 cents, in worn condition. However, uncirculated and high-grade examples can be of interest to collectors. In mint state, MS condition, particularly MS 67 or higher, the coin's value can increase due to its pristine surfaces, sharp details, and attractive luster. Some exceptional examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC have fetched a few dollars to several dozen dollars depending on eye appeal and strike quality. One point of interest for collectors is the quality of strike among 1988 P-dimes. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing coins with generally good detail, but minor variations exist in the strength of the design elements, particularly around the torch and lettering on the reverse. Some collectors also look for full torch, FT, or full bands designations, awarded when the horizontal lines on the torch are fully struck and distinct, a mark of superior minting quality. Although such distinctions are more common and valuable for older Roosevelt dimes, modern examples like the 1988 P can still attract attention when perfectly struck. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 1988 P dime embodies a continuity of American values. The design honors Roosevelt's compassion and strength, reflecting the ideals that guided his presidency: hope, equality, and collective effort. Its small size belies its significance. The dime has circulated in millions of daily transactions, serving as a tangible reminder of Roosevelt's vision for a united and resilient America. Over the decades, while larger coins like the half-dollar have faded from everyday use, the dime has maintained its role as a staple of U.S. currency. In the broader context of 1988 U.S. coinage, this was a time of technological progress at the U.S. Mint. Precision minting techniques were improving, and the production process became more efficient and consistent. The Philadelphia Mint, established in 1792, was producing coins not only for circulation but also for coin collectors around the world. The 1988 P-dime represents this intersection of mass production and artistic legacy, a small but vital piece of the American monetary system that connects modern coinage with a tradition spanning more than 2 centuries. Today, most 1988 P-dimes remain in circulation or in jars and drawers across the country, quietly serving their purpose. For collectors, they are a reminder that even the most common coins can carry layers of meaning, stories of leadership, artistry, and national identity. While not rare or precious in a monetary sense, the 1988 P. Roosevelt dime continues to symbolize the spirit of democratic progress and the enduring impact of Franklin D. Roosevelt's leadership on American life. It is a coin that, though humble in value, carries a legacy far greater than its 10-cent denomination, a shining example of how even the smallest artifacts of everyday life can hold profound historical significance. Next, top 3. The 1999 P. United States dime, commonly referred to as the 1999 Roosevelt dime, is a small but historically significant coin within the modern era of American coinage. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the small letter P, mint mark located to the right of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's neck on the obverse side, this coin represents a continuation of the long-running Roosevelt dime series that began in 1946, the year following Roosevelt's death. The dime's design honors Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who served from 1933 to 1945 and guided the nation through the Great Depression and the Second World War. Roosevelt's likeness has appeared on the dime since 1946 in tribute to his leadership and his association with the March of Dimes campaign, which raised funds for polio research, a cause personally important to him as he had been afflicted by the disease. The obverse side of the 1999 P dime features a left-facing portrait of President Roosevelt. Above his head appears the word liberty, symbolizing one of the founding ideals of the United States. To the left, near the rim, is the national motto, "In God We Trust," expressing the country's enduring spiritual heritage and moral values. The date 1999 is positioned at the lower right, alongside the P mint mark, showing that the coin was produced in Philadelphia. Below Roosevelt's neck truncation is the designer's initials JS, representing John Sinnock, the chief engraver of the United States Mint who originally designed the Roosevelt dime in 1946. The obverse design has remained largely unchanged for decades, symbolizing continuity and respect for Roosevelt's enduring legacy in American history. Turning to the reverse side, the coin bears a design rich in symbolism and detail. At the center stands a torch, symbolizing liberty, enlightenment, and hope. On either side of the torch are two branches. To the left, an olive branch, representing peace, and to the right, an oak branch, representing strength and victory. Together, these elements reflect the ideals of freedom, peace, and resilience that define the United States. Encircling the design are the inscriptions, United States of America, across the top and one dime at the bottom, clearly denoting the coin's issuing nation and face value. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, appears on the reverse as well, emphasizing the unity of the American states and people despite their diversity. This phrase has appeared on U.S. coinage since the late 18th century and remains a timeless expression of the nation's democratic ideals. In terms of composition, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime is made from a copper-nickel-clad alloy, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This modern composition replaced the traditional 90% silver alloy used in dimes minted prior to 1965, following the Coinage Act of 1965, which eliminated silver from most circulating U.S. coins due to rising metal prices. The clad dime weighs 2.27 grams, has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and a reeded edge with 118 small grooves. The reeded edge serves not only as a distinctive design feature, but also historically functioned to deter coin clipping, an old practice of shaving small amounts of precious metal from coins when they were still made of silver. The clad construction makes the 1999 P dime durable, corrosion-resistant, and suitable for daily circulation in modern commerce. From a numismatic perspective, the 1999 P dime was produced in massive quantities for general circulation. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 1.1 billion Roosevelt dimes that year, making the coin quite common and readily available in pocket change. Because of this high mintage, most 1999 P dimes hold only their face value of 10 cents when circulated. However, collectors often seek out coins in uncirculated, mint state, or proof-like condition, where the details of Roosevelt's portrait and the reverse design are sharp and lustrous, free of scratches or wear. Dimes graded MS, 67 or higher by professional grading services can have a modest premium among collectors due to their scarcity in such pristine condition. Occasionally, rare minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing clad layers, can make individual examples more valuable, sometimes fetching several $100s depending on rarity and demand. The year 1999 itself was a period of economic prosperity and technological transition in the United States. It marked the closing of the 20th century, a time when America was entering the digital age and the U.S. Mint was beginning to prepare for major new coin programs such as the State Quarter Series, which launched that same year. The Roosevelt dime, though not part of a special commemorative series, remained an essential element of everyday American currency, representing stability and tradition amid rapid change. Its continued presence in circulation symbolized the enduring values and history of the nation's coinage system. In summary, the 1999 P United States dime stands as a small but meaningful piece of American history, embodying both the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the broader story of the nation's progress through the 20th century. With its timeless design, practical clad composition, and immense circulation, it serves as both a tribute to a pivotal president and a lasting symbol of American unity and liberty. While it may seem ordinary to the casual observer, each 1999 P dime carries with it a lineage of artistry, symbolism, and history that connects everyday transactions to the deeper narrative of the United States and its enduring democratic ideals. Next top 4. The 2004p United States dime, officially known as the 2004 Roosevelt dime, is a small but historically rich coin that carries both economic and symbolic importance in American numismatic history. Struck by the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark on the obverse side, this coin is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series that began in 1946, introduced to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year in 1945. The Roosevelt dime replaced the Mercury dime, marking a significant shift in U.S. coin design from the allegorical symbolism of liberty to a portrait of a real historical figure whose leadership and humanitarian efforts left a profound legacy on the nation. The obverse side of the 2004 dime features the left-facing bust of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at that time. Around Roosevelt's portrait are the inscriptions Liberty on the left, In God We Trust to the lower left, the year 2004 below his neck, and the mint mark P just above the date to signify the Philadelphia Mint. Sinek's initials, JS, appear at the base of Roosevelt's neckline as a subtle tribute to the designer. The obverse design symbolizes Roosevelt's enduring legacy as a man of courage and compassion who led the nation through both the Great Depression and the Second World War, and who founded the March of Dimes, a campaign to combat polio, the disease that had afflicted him personally. The reverse side of the 2004p dime *** displays a classical and elegant design that has remained unchanged since 1946. It features a torch in the center, representing liberty and enlightenment, flanked by an olive branch on the left, symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength and independence. Above these symbols is the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which emphasizes unity among diversity, the essence of the American ideal. Surrounding the central design are the inscriptions, United States of America at the top and one dime at the bottom, clearly indicating the nation of issue and denomination. The reverse design's balance of elements conveys the enduring American values of liberty, peace, and strength that Roosevelt himself championed during his presidency. The coin is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, forming a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, a composition adopted in 1965 after the U.S. Mint ceased using silver in circulating dimes. Each dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, and a weight of 2.268 grams, with a reeded, grooved edge consisting of 118 reeds, designed both for aesthetics and to deter counterfeiting and edge shaving. In terms of mintage, the 2004p Roosevelt dime saw a large production run, with the Philadelphia Mint striking over 1.125 billion coins, making it a common issue in circulation. Despite its abundance, the coin remains a beloved piece for collectors due to its connection to the Roosevelt legacy and the long continuity of the series. In circulated condition, it holds a face value of 10 cents, but in uncirculated mint state condition, particularly in grades MS65 and above, it can be of interest to collectors for its luster and strike quality. Proof versions were also struck in San Francisco, mint mark, designed for collectors with mirror-like finishes. Some rare error varieties exist from the 2004 issues, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies, which can increase the coin's value depending on the severity and clarity of the error. These minting errors are always sought after in the numismatic community for their uniqueness. From a historical perspective, the 2004 dime serves as a quiet reflection of American stability and continuity. Though small in size, it embodies a tradition of honoring leadership and service. Roosevelt's portrait, dignified and resolute, stands as a tribute not only to the man himself, but to the ideals he represented: perseverance through hardship, faith in progress, and commitment to the welfare of the people. In 2004, the U.S. economy was growing steadily after the early 2000s recession, and coins like this dime circulated actively in everyday commerce, symbolizing both the strength and accessibility of American currency. Today, the 2004p Roosevelt dime remains a humble yet meaningful piece of modern American history, a reminder of Franklin D. Roosevelt's lasting influence and the enduring spirit of liberty that the coin's imagery continues to express more than half a century after its introduction. Whether found in pocket change, coin rolls, or mint sets, it connects modern Americans with a legacy of resilience, reform, and hope that defines much of the nation. Next top 5. The 2014 P. Roosevelt dime is a 10-cent coin issued by the United States Mint as part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death in 1945. The 2014 P. dime, bearing the P. Mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the principal mints of the United States. It continues the tradition of the dime's design that has endured for decades, symbolizing both America's respect for Roosevelt's legacy and the ongoing evolution of modern U.S. coinage. On the obverse front of the coin is the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by sculptor John R. Sinek, who was the U.S. Mint's chief engraver at the time the coin was first introduced. Roosevelt's profile faces left, and around it appear the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, the year 2014, and the mint mark, P, indicating Philadelphia. Beneath Roosevelt's neck is Sinek's initial, JS, acknowledging his contribution as the designer. The portrait captures Roosevelt's determined and compassionate personality, representing his leadership during one of the most challenging times in American history, the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse back of the 2014 P. dime features a balanced design centered around a torch, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. This composition represents three core ideals of the United States: liberty, peace, and strength. Above the design appears the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Surrounding the central imagery are the inscriptions United States of America and one dime. The reverse design, also created by John R. Sinek, has remained unchanged since the coin's inception in 1946, serving as a timeless symbol of America's ideals. Each of these design elements was carefully chosen to represent the spirit of the nation and the enduring legacy of President Roosevelt, whose New Deal programs and humanitarian leadership left an indelible mark on the country. The 2014 P. dime is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, forming a clad composition with a pure copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel alloy. It weighs 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge, a feature that originated centuries ago to deter coin clipping and counterfeiting. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, with an exact mintage of approximately 1.35 billion, making it a common circulation issue rather than a rarity. Despite this, each coin holds historical and collectible value due to its design continuity and connection to American history. The Roosevelt dime series is the longest-running dime design in U.S. history, and the 2014 issue represents the modern continuation of that legacy in a world that has seen dramatic technological and cultural change since 1946. Collectors appreciate the 2014 P. dime for its sharp design details, especially in higher-grade, uncirculated, or proof conditions. Proof versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S mint mark, but circulation strikes like the Philadelphia issue are valued for their precision and craftsmanship. In uncirculated condition, these coins can display brilliant luster and crisp detail, especially around the torch and branches on the reverse. While most 2014 P. dimes in circulation are worth face value, uncirculated or special error examples can command higher prices among numismatists. Known varieties or minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double die obverse, add excitement to the series and are sought after by coin enthusiasts. Historically, the Roosevelt dime was introduced partly because of Roosevelt's association with the March of Dimes, a charitable campaign to combat polio, a disease that had personally affected him. Thus, his portrait on the dime carries a deeper symbolic meaning. It not only honors his presidency, but also his humanitarian commitment. The dime's introduction marked a shift toward modern coinage in the post-war era, with Sinek's realistic and dignified portrait serving as a model of 20th century American design. By 2014, nearly 7 decades after its debut, the Roosevelt dime remained a steadfast emblem of continuity within U.S. currency, embodying the nation's democratic ideals, its gratitude toward Roosevelt, and the precision of American minting technology. From a broader historical and economic perspective, the 2014 P dime circulated during a time of relative economic recovery in the United States following the 2008 financial crisis. Digital payments and electronic transactions were becoming increasingly dominant, yet the dime continued to serve an essential role in everyday commerce. Its small denomination may seem modest, but it represents an enduring part of American monetary identity, linking generations through daily use and numismatic preservation. In this sense, the 2014 P dime bridges the gap between the analog and digital ages, serving as both a practical coin and a cultural artifact. In conclusion, the 2014 P United States 1 dime is more than just a small piece of currency. It is a compact symbol of history, leadership, and American resilience. Its timeless design by John R. Cynic reflects both the strength of Franklin D. Roosevelt's character and the ideals of liberty, peace, and unity cherished by the nation. Struck in massive numbers at the Philadelphia Mint, it continues to circulate widely, carrying forward a story that began in the aftermath of World War II and continues to resonate in the 21st century. Whether held as pocket change or preserved in a collector's album, the 2014 P dime embodies a remarkable blend of artistry, legacy, and national pride that has endured for nearly 8 decades.